All right, Sarah. I am so excited to chat with you today. And I'm so excited we got that time last week at our shoot to hang. I usually am like so nervous for podcasts, and I was a little bit before this, but I feel like this is going to be good. It's like we're buddies.
We're your buddies already.
Yeah. I'm so excited for our collaboration with High Confectionary to come out, which we'll get into. Before we get started, I thought maybe you should just introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi. I'm Sarah.
We love Sarah.
So bad at intros. So I am the founder of Broma Bakery. It's a baking blog that I've had, oh my gosh, 15 years or something like that.
15 years?
Isn't that crazy? I started it when I was 19.
Like in the height of blog era.
Yeah, like
.blogspot.com.
Yes. Yeah.
Was it always called Broma Bakery?
It was always called Broma Bakery.
Okay.
But it was .blogspot because
I love it because we couldn't have .com.
Yeah. And my whole brand is built around desserts. So making desserts, enjoying desserts. Everything desserts.
Yeah. So I know that as much as desserts are so fulfilling for you now and have brought so much purpose and creativity, but I also know, knowing you, that food and your experience with food hasn't always brought the most positivity.
Yeah.
So I feel like let's start at like the way back with little Sarah and the environment that little Sarah grew up in and how you evolved into having this now beautiful relationship with food and baking.
Yeah. So I grew up in a town right outside of Boston, and my parents divorced when I was 7. I had one younger sister. She was 5.
Okay.
And
a lot for you.
The divorce was really messy. Yeah. It was
a bad age.
It was a bad age because I feel like I picked up on so much, and like some of my earliest memories are memories where there's like contention in the house or my parents just yelling at each other. So much of that like part of my childhood was very stressful and like out of sync, I think. I have wonderful parents. They just weren't right for each other. But I think that the way that showed up was not great in terms of an environment for my sister and I. And so basically my childhood from 7 onwards there was so much instability. Like my parents were in the same town, but their separation and divorce went on for a long time because there was just like a lot of fighting between them, and like, you know, child support and things like that. And I felt like I was privy to all of it. Like I could hear all these conversations.
You were aware enough.
Yeah, like I knew that things weren't good. And then like physically, my sister and I were moving around every day or every other day. So like my parents—
Every other day?
So my parents were in the same neighborhood. We were in one apartment and my mom moved to another apartment literally a block away. And I think it's because she wanted it to be, you know, close enough. But our schedule was every other Sunday night we'd switch off, then go to school on Monday. On Tuesday, we'd be with our mom until Tuesday night. We'd have dinner with our mom, and then we'd go to our dad's house and sleep over Tuesday night. Then we'd come back to our mom's house. Then we'd go over to our dad's house on Thursday night, but only for like 3 or 4 hours. Then we'd go back and sleep at our mom's house. And then Saturday morning, we'd go to our dad's house. We'd be there for the entire weekend. And then like every other Sunday, we'd either sleep with him or we'd go back to my mom's.
Just zero consistency.
Totally.
I wonder if your parents would have done the same thing if it were now.
No.
I feel like people didn't have necessarily kind of like the education or, you know, to know that every other day for a 5 and a 7-year-old is going to be extremely chaotic and stressful.
Yeah. And I think like for me, it's something that I've learned about myself is so much of my anxiety, which like my clinical anxiety, I think literally comes from not settling in one place. Like I don't remember having alone time where I would just sit in my room and do nothing because we were like always moving or always maximizing our time.
Or like preparing for leaving or just settling in. And oh God.
So then my mom started dating a man who's now my stepfather, who now we have a wonderful relationship.
Okay, thank God.
He like I love him. Right. And I'm so grateful for our relationship. But he also had 5 kids all around my sisters and my age. And so there was also this blended family aspect once they started dating. And once we moved in together, we moved in, the 9 of us, to a house that was 4 bedrooms. And so it was just like very tight and again, just like very destabilizing. And so I basically turned to food as a way to control my environment. And I started noticing when I was like 13, which was right around when my mom and my stepdad, I think, got engaged or like started talking about getting engaged. I remember I was actually sitting in the back seat of my mom's car and I was like, if you guys get engaged, I'm not going to eat. And I don't know where it came from. Like I literally just said it. And my mom got so upset and she was, and like I was like being pouty that whole day. And then I ate dinner that night. But I remember there was something from this early age.
It was a threat to you that felt like you were going to get somewhere with her. Like that was going to be super serious.
Yes. And by controlling and by limiting what I was putting in my body, I was kind of like rebelling and being like, you're causing me pain.
Right. And trying to control the situation. You're like, by not eating, I'm going to control the outcome of the chaos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So interesting how we turn to food as something that we think we have all this control over, because it is one of the only things in this life that we do have control over putting in our body. So what were kind of like the first signs? So you tell your mom you're not going to eat, you eat that night. Your parents, then this starts though, I'm sure that sparks something in you.
Yeah. So the next few years, I remember having like little moments. Like I remember being out for like a birthday dinner with one of my friends and like asking her like, do you ever think about like the fat content in food? Like starting to notice that I had these little tiffs or like rubbing up against like questions or
little obsessions.
Yeah, little obsessions. And then I remember the summer I turned 16, I started obsessively like noticing fat content in food. And that very quickly turned to counting calories and writing down just like everything that I was eating and just becoming really obsessed with trying to eat as little as possible. And basically from, I think it was like July to the end of October or so, I ended up losing like 25 pounds and I was already like thin build. And so I just really rapidly declined in my weight. And I basically ended up like my parents noticed it, my mom noticed it and tried to do things about it. She was like, oh my God, something's clearly going on. I think like just to like back up, my mom is an incredibly perceptive, incredibly emotionally aware and like loving person. So she saw this and she was like, we got to do something about this. Even when people do talk about sort of like control anxiety, like issues around food, there's often this mentality of, well, I used to, and now I'm like totally great. There's not like this liminal space for people to be able to talk about this and kind of be like, and yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what that was about. Or like, I've thought about this a lot and like now I know this about myself, but like I still... It's always still in issues with food always kind of live in you. It's just like a journey of kind of dealing with it. Right. And so I think with all of that said, like I want to share the things that I went through, but I also don't want to like trauma dump my story on people.
I completely get it. Yeah. But you're not. I think you're not trauma dumping by sharing an experience. I think it's enlightening someone that knows someone or is dealing something themselves and can put not like a diagnosis on it, but just like make some sort of sense of something. Like this may be happening because of this.
Yeah. Totally.
So your mom starts to notice what's going on.
Yeah.
And she obviously wants to get you help and wants to figure it out. What is that conversation like? Like, were you hiding it from people? Or were you pretty out and open about it? And was it, sorry, I know this is a two-part, like, do you think looking back on it that it was more of a control thing or was it an appearance thing at the time? I mean, obviously that time for us millennials was not great with body image and women and what we were seeing.
Yeah.
But do you think mostly it was because of your environment and the lack of control that you had?
It was for sure because of my environment.
Yeah.
And I was reaching for control.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, it was not about my body at all. I was not very interested in how I looked in a mirror. Like I've thought about this a lot because I've basically been in therapy since I've been 16.
Yeah.
But like, I think I maybe looked at my body in the mirror like 1 or 2 times during that time because I was just so disinterested. It was so much more an internal thing for me.
You were like disassociated from your body a little bit, maybe.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I do remember like those times when I would look at my body in the mirror, it's not like I was happy. I would see like progress of what I was doing, but it wasn't like I wasn't like as satisfied or like stoked about it. But so my mom noticed things were wrong. So she looked up basically outpatient treatment programs, which she found this program that was basically 3 or 4 nights a week in Cambridge. I would go, we would do different kinds of like group therapy. We would eat healthy, like balanced meals there. But unfortunately, because it was such a limited program for me, I was eating more in that program and it just caused me to restrict even more like outside of that time. So I kept losing weight and my mom ended up taking me to a doctor that was like a pediatric eating disorder specialist. And I was going there for about a month and basically things just weren't getting better. And my weight like every week was going down. And so I remember we went to this one appointment and the doctor sat us down and she was like, listen, if you don't do something dramatic to like change what's going on, like you absolutely could die. And I really think you should go into an in-treatment program. I vividly remember this. It was a Tuesday. She was like, there's a program. It actually was in my hometown. It was at McLean Hospital, which is like this really well-known psychiatric hospital. And she was like, they have a bed on Thursday. And so I was like, oh my God. What? Yeah.
Yeah. Like this is happening.
But weirdly, I remember that it was relieving. I remember feeling like I had been basically starving myself so intensely that the idea of like not doing that was like, oh, thank God I don't have to do this anymore.
Completely.
And I was scared about it and I wasn't like excited about it, but like
you were just exhausted from it. You were
exhausted.
exhausted from all of the control that you were trying to hold in.
Yes.
You were like, finally some relief.
Yeah.
So that's so interesting. And also a very mature outlook at so young, you know, to like, I'm so ready to go to a psychiatric hospital. You must have been in really deep. Sorry.
No, I was. It's okay.
Lately, I've been thinking about how much of adulthood is managing things no one really sees. One of those things for me has been learning to step into more of a caregiving role. Over the last few years, my family has had to navigate some difficult changes with my mom's health, and it's shifted our day-to-day lives in ways we didn't quite feel ready for. Being there emotionally is one part of it, but there's also this steady stream of logistics running in the background. Appointments, insurance, refills, timing, pricing, deliveries, medication management in particular became one of those things that felt small on paper, but heavy in practice. Making sure everything is filled on time, understanding what it costs, coordinating pickups, it all really adds up. And I'm just so grateful that we started using Amazon Pharmacy. Amazon Pharmacy is a full-service digital pharmacy available on Amazon.com that delivers prescription medications directly to customers' homes. It also offers 24/7 access to licensed pharmacists and clear upfront pricing so people know what they'll pay before they check out. When you're already holding a lot, knowing exactly what you're paying and having prescriptions delivered to your door makes a meaningful difference. Amazon Pharmacy delivers to all 50 states, and nearly half of customers in the US have access to same-day delivery options, which has been huge during moments when the timing really matters. I also really value that Amazon Pharmacy offers caregiver support through a caregiver feature where you can securely invite a trusted family member or caregiver to help manage prescriptions, which adds an extra layer of reassurance. Overall, it's just a more supportive, convenient option for managing prescriptions, whether you're caring for yourself or someone you love. To learn more, visit pharmacy.amazon.com. If you could sit across from yourself at this time, like what would you say to yourself?
That's such a good question. Even though your parents are good people and love you so much and are doing the best they can, the environment that you're in right now is not good for you. And that's also okay to admit. It doesn't mean that your parents are bad people. It doesn't mean that they are doing something to hurt you, but this situation is not working for you. And that's not your fault. That's also not really their fault. Because I think everyone's situation is different. I genuinely believe that my parents did the best they could. I have no resentment at all.
Probably. And your mom was probably falling in love.
Yeah.
And now she's with this person that you love and are so close with, but she was trying her best to make it work.
Totally. And take on top of all of that, working full time and trying to make sure that we have extracurriculars we can go to and not having a ton of money and trying to make it all there was so much stress so I totally get it, but I think I felt like I couldn't really admit that things were that bad because I didn't know how to decompartmentalize it.
Right. You didn't know how to separate, okay, my parents aren't bad people.
And also fucking sucks.
I'm just in a bad environment. But at that time, you're just too mature and it just feels like everything is crumbling around you.
Totally.
And your parents aren't taking care of you and all of that. So you go into treatment.
Yeah.
And what do you think surprised you the most about your experience in treatment?
This actually sounds weird, but it's how I feel. I think fondly of it because it was such a relief from the world. It was like a respite. You were focused on one thing. There was not a lot of noise from the outside world. I mean, we weren't allowed to go outside. We weren't allowed to leave the building. We had an hour where we could go on the internet and email. But it's we were so just in our own little bubble in there. And there was something so simple about that just made everything feel better in a way. And I think coming from this place where I felt like I lacked so much control in my life, being in an environment where everything was controlled was relieving.
Completely.
It was great
to feel
in this
like
weird
there's
way.
these superiors and everything is planned for you.
I don't have to do anything.
You don't have to do anything. I almost wish we had that option now. As not a,
no, it's I want to, when I go to a hotel, I want everybody to do everything for me. I just want to sit there.
Yeah. But we need hotels that we can check into for a month where it's for our mental health that insurance covers.
Honestly. So I think that, and then the other thing that I think now I'm not surprised at all by it, but I was very surprised there. Every single girl that was in there was struggling with something going on either within their family or within their immediate circle.
Interesting.
That caused an eating disorder to manifest. So these were not just girls that were obsessed with their body, or girls that just decided that they wanted to see how thin they could be, or whatever.
Yeah.
These were girls that everybody was dealing with something and they didn't know how to deal with it besides turning to food in some way or another.
It's so interesting because I've struggled with this a little bit too, not necessarily as a teenager, but definitely when I was going through the thick of my fertility struggles. I started to lose a ton of weight, but I wasn't connecting to why. And everybody was bringing it up to me and I was like, I think I just have so much going on and I don't have an appetite. It's even still hard for me to admit that it is a control issue because my rational brain says food is good and food is there to nourish me. And when I'm hungry, I want food and I get hangry and I don't like being hungry and I always need a snack. There's so many thoughts that feel so rational, but then my actions are the opposite. What is that? I'm
I wish I knew. No, but I think that's so understandable. We are in this age where we have so many choices on a daily basis.
Too many choices.
We're dealing with way too many things. We have to be perfect in this way and do all of this. And sometimes it just becomes too much. And I think food is one of those things that like you have to do it multiple times a day. It's like an almost constant in your day. And so I don't know, like to me, I don't know why, but like it makes total sense.
I know that's where I got to with my nutritionist. I would be like, because I saw a nutritionist for about a year and a half after I was dealing with that stuff. And the thing that I kept coming back to was like that I'm lazy. I was like, it's not a control issue. I'm just lazy. I know I'm hungry. I just can't decide. And I'm like, okay, it's fine. will wait till dinner. But that is control, right?
Mm-hmm. And lazy, but also do you ever feel like it's an element of like, and I could do this, but that wouldn't be exactly right. Or I could do this, but that's not exactly
right. Or that doesn't sound exactly like what I want, or I can never think about what I want. And I think that kind of brain block is a little bit of the control blocking what I'm actually craving.
Totally.
But I don't look at myself as a controlling person.
Yeah.
So I was just like,
it's super interesting. But you, I mean, you do so much and you have so much on your shoulders that like, I feel like you have to be a controlling person for what you do. You know what I mean? Like even if that's not how you see yourself.
That's so true. I think sometimes I have to be a controlling person, but it doesn't come naturally to me. So then I like have a fight with it. So then how has your understanding of recovery evolved over time? Like obviously you're in this really intense thing and then you have to integrate into life as a teenager and then continue to think about this and take care of yourself every single day for the rest of your life.
What an exhausting. It was interesting. My mom struggled with binge eating when she was younger, and I never knew. There was not one thing that I would have ever said that had happened to her. Like it didn't show.
There's no reason why that would be
my
the
childhood.
Reason. Yeah, you knew nothing. Yeah,
but I remember when she did tell me when I was going through it, she said, like. I know it doesn't feel like it, but like it will get easier. It will get better. Like 10 years from now, 20 years from now, like you're going to look back and these intense feelings aren't going to feel so intense. That voice in your head is not going to feel so intense. I've always sort of framed recovery with that in mind, in that like recovery is acknowledging that you might have this forever. You might have this tendency to, when you're stressed, want to not eat. Or for other people, when you're stressed, want to eat a ton. But the goal and the hope is that as time goes on, those voices quiet and you find ways to quiet those voices and you find ways to create new meaning and to work on yourself and, get to the bottom of what's going on. And so that's really, I think, how I see it.
How you see it. Yeah. Is like, it's kind of the same thing for me as grief. Like, it's like when I lost my dad, I remember speaking to a rabbi and he told me, he was like, the feeling that you get when you think about your dad is going to be so intense, but the amount that you will actually think about him will lessen and lessen and lessen. And that I think is what's so important. And like when, for any kind of spiral, for us to remember that this is only like a moment in time, do restrictive thoughts still surface?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, especially because I work around food and I work around dessert.
Right.
So like, it's
right.
Constant. It's inevitable. Like,
so how do you, do you have like mantras? Like what are some of the things that you do actively to cope?
Yeah. So I think a few things. I still go to therapy. My first step is always being open and being honest with myself and being honest with others and like speaking when I feel that the restrictive thoughts and sort of not just restrictive thoughts around food, but like thoughts around feeling like I need to hyper control my day. I need to make sure, oh my God, everything in my room is perfect or like all of that. I think it's really important to speak up and to name it, to give it less power. So that and therapy. I also think that really getting in touch with the good parts about food help me a lot. So like cooking a lot and like making a meal that I know I love, that I'm really excited about, or baking, one of my favorite things. Because I think like the beginning of my relationship with food when I was 5 or 7 or 10 years old was great. Like I loved food and my mom baked all the time. And I have so many happy memories around food before things started to go south. Growing up, food really was a very positive thing. I remember like licking spoonfuls of chocolate chip cookie dough, like from the counter with my mom, or like helping her make lemon poppy seed muffins. And like with my dad, like I remember catching lobsters and like eating them, and like memories that just helped to create such a whole life. And I think when I think about really like what makes me excited and makes me feel like I've had like a meaningful life that's been really satisfactory, like food and creating food and eating food and enjoying food with other people, like that is also a part of
Such a huge part of that.
Yeah. And so I think reconnecting to that joy that I think is just like such an integral part of who I am helps so much.
Completely. Okay, baking.
Okay, let's talk.
And life after treatment.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's so important. So like your mom, you grew up watching your mom love to bake, and then baking became this thing that drove you and gave you this purpose. And it's just so ironic because it is like the opposite of what someone with an eating disorder would maybe want to get into. But I love it. And it actually makes so much sense to me. So what inspired you originally to start Broma Bakery?
Well, so when I went to college, I did my first 2 years of undergrad at NYU. And when I went to college, my mom gave me a binder of recipes, and they were 95% baking recipes. And they were basically like the recipes of my childhood. I just love it. And I still have it. And like, I love it so much. I have it in a little like memento box.
That's so cute.
But so, I mean, really like my mom baked all the time growing up. She had something on the counter or in the fridge or in the oven at all times. Like if we didn't have a sweet in the house, that was
like something was wrong.
Yeah. Like where's mom?
Yeah.
Like what's going on?
Is she okay?
And so when I got to college and I was on my own, I really missed that. I missed it so much. And then at the same time, I was really into photography in high school. And I missed having that as a creative outlet. And so I remember I literally like woke up hungover from Halloween, and I was like, I'm gonna bake a cake. And I was like, I'm gonna photograph it.
Were you stoned? No. Like we'll get into that later.
So I photographed it, and I went to Blogger, so like did my little .blogspot.com thing, and I just like wrote up a quick little ditty like
the recipe, like yay, I'm hungover. Do you remember what the first recipe was?
Let me think. Oh my God, this is even better actually. I didn't even bake it. My mom sent me a coconut cake. She literally mailed me a coconut cake.
And then you pretended that you baked it and then took a picture of it?
Oh my God, I did. Wait, I totally did. So I remember putting it on the counter and I cut into it, and the photo's still on my site. And I think I wrote about how she made it for me, but I was like, hee, my first blog post. Like it literally is like, you gotta find it.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah. And then so I started just baking out of that book that she had given me, and that's really where it
all started from.
Yeah.
So it must have given you something like, really meaningful to want to create.
So meaningful. Yes,
I think career around it. Yeah.
I think I've always been really creative, and I really like love being artistic. And I think it gave me so much joy and satisfaction to not only have like the photography art that I really like. I love creating a visual world and sort of making people like feel something through.
You're so lucky that you have that. Yeah.
I love it so much. But then also like the act of creating a baked good. And I mean, the act of creating food in general, oh my God. It's so exciting. Okay. You in your own kitchen, get to bake something and have this really beautiful creative moment. Then you get to enjoy it. Like what? Like, oh my God, it's so fun. Like you made something and you get to eat it. And it like literally nourishes you. That's so cool. And then you get to give it to other people and they get to enjoy it too. Like I'm just obsessed. I love it. And then I think what's so cool about blogging and what had me like inspired to continue to do it is I started getting traction, and then I'd get at the time emails or like comments on my blog from people being like, oh, I made your this for my son's birthday, or oh my God, my boyfriend and I are obsessed with this. And I was like, oh my God, someone who I have no idea who they are. Now this is a like
they actually
visceral,
care.
physical part of their life. Like that's crazy.
It's so crazy.
And it brings
so
them
cool.
joy. It's
completely
so cool.
That's what's the best part about the whole thing is putting something else out there and that actual strangers enjoy as well.
And then it becomes a part of their traditions too.
Completely.
Like it's just wild to me. And it's just so cool that like I can create something that yes, like I made and I'm like very proud of, but also it's really cool that like it takes on its own life that's outside of me.
But question, like as you were starting to bake and going through all this, were any eating things coming up as you were baking all these amazing things? And then like, how was that?
It was tough at first, but not because I was baking so much.
Okay.
I went to treatment and then I got out of it. I finished high school. I went on to college. I continued my life. And like every step of my life, when I'm having like a major point of crisis or a really stressful time, like that's when my intrusive thoughts show up. So if anything, baking has been a really nice buoy that keeps me, that brings me back up. And it reminds me of all the really good things. I do feel lucky that like I have not really struggled with overindulgence. It's more just like when my overall environment is getting weird or hard that I like dip.
Right.
I mean, I will say though, it was a really conscious choice for me to not create baked goods that like cut corners or that were like lower in calories or lower in sugar. I think because to me, I wanted baking to be able to stand on its own and like prove to myself that you could have this indulgence in a very
like in an innocent
purposeful
way.
Way that like didn't have to have feelings of guilt.
Right.
And I think by continuing to do that over and over again and seeing that I was okay, that I was still living my life. I wasn't, like overindulging and getting out of control. That it was a really like beautiful way to be able to like have food be less scary.
Like kind of cathartic probably.
Yes.
Because you were like really facing it.
Facing it head on and being like, this is okay. I don't need to be scared of this.
Right.
I'm actually really excited about
this. Actually brings me joy.
Yeah.
Do you think like people nowadays are scared of dessert? Like how do you
find?
Yeah.
No, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, look at how many like frozen yogurt shops are popping back up. First of all,
Love it. I was upset when they started to leave.
No.
But I know. I mean, I feel like the frozen yogurt shops are popping up. The gummy shops are popping up. There's obviously all the GLP one, like the whole, I feel like we're going a little bit backwards.
Yeah.
So what do you say to, the women out there that are starting to feel like we are like digressing a little bit, or that they're starting to feel like, wow, I was celebrating my body and now everybody's shrinking around me. Like, what do you say to that? And how do you like manage that?
I mean, like, first of all, I feel the same. It's like scary. It's very destabilizing to see like us as a society like revert to like everyone's getting thinner. And then it's like when somebody looks really good in good light, everyone's like, oh my God, they're looking amazing. It's like, she's so tiny and she didn't used to be. Like it's a little bit scary.
It's scary. It's also, it's just because that they're getting the attention for losing the weight. You know what I mean?
Totally.
That's what it is. And like people are saying they look amazing because they lost all this weight. It's just like the attention.
But then, what's so interesting too? I also feel like I scroll on TikTok all the time and I'll scroll on TikTok and I'll see like a celebrity that did get thin and all these people are like, oh, they went too hard on the GLP-1s. And it's like, oh my God, we can't fucking win.
There's no winning.
So what I would say to people who are noticing that in general is like, yeah, it's like it is a no-win situation for women.
Yeah, totally.
It just totally is, and it sucks.
And we need to try our best, which is almost impossible, but to try our best to stop comparing ourselves to other people too.
Oh my God,
because
so
we're just
hard.
all so uniquely different.
I know.
Like I saw these photos of Kylie Jenner today in her like new Skims campaign.
She looked amazing.
She looks amazing. But I saw then this girl posted this video. This girl I love, Victoria Garrick Brown, who also used to have a really terrible eating disorder as a college athlete. And I had her on my podcast. And she did this video and it went into like all the reasons why and how she can look like this for everybody out there that was starting to look at it and be like, I will never look like that. It's like the personal chef and the 24/7 access to trainer and gym and the makeup and the hair and the dermatologist and this. And it's just like, I think that's when we all have to really remember what is going into all of this.
You know, what I would say to women who are scared of dessert, I think that sugar has been pushed on society as being the devil.
Completely.
And I am not here to say that like you should eat sugar for every meal. Like, no, you shouldn't. That's bad for you. But like everything, I think moderation is key. And I think that if you are eating a cookie every night, like I do, that is part of a balanced diet.
Completely.
And like you don't need to sacrifice in some way in order to enjoy that. If that's what your body's craving, like you should have that.
100%.
I think too, like there's a lot of talk around like, okay, well then I'm going to have unrefined sugars only. I hate all of that talk around like, okay, well this sugar's okay, but this is not. You know, living in New York City, there's so many carcinogens we're like dealing with every day. We live in like a modern world. There's so many things that are so much worse for us than like a cookie. Like, are you kidding me?
Completely. like don't.
It's okay.
Spend your like valuable brain power on that. Yeah.
But I totally understand why people do feel like a cookie is incredibly scary. And what I would say is like the best thing to do to try to stop that thought process and to try to like reframe things is to challenge yourself and to try eating a cookie at the end of every day or every other day or whatever it is. Like see what happens.
Right. See what happens.
See what
actually happens. I believe in that too. I believe so much. I don't even necessarily always believe in moderation. Like I think it's all dependent on where you're at. But I do believe in intuitive eating. Yeah. And I do believe in just eating what you feel like when you feel like it. But I know that that also doesn't work for everybody.
Yeah. And I think it's really important to say that like the place that I'm coming from is from a person who their tendency is to restrict. I think there's a whole other group of people who go in the opposite direction. And I by no means want to like invalidate that or say that like that's a whole other thing. And I don't feel like I'm good speaking to that because it hasn't been my experience. But like that is very real for a lot of people. So like I get that moderation can be really hard. And I get that like if they have a cookie at the end of the night, that can be really hard because it can easily turn into 2 or 3. So like for sure want to acknowledge that.
Completely.
Which 2 or 3 is still fine.
I mean, why not? But I do love that you are baking with butter, sugar, all the real stuff, all the good ingredients. I think that that's so important. I think not putting any kind of boundaries on that is so important.
When I was first starting out and I didn't sort of know what my brand was or like what my lane was going to be in baking, I would bake things that were healthier or, you know, like less sugar or whatever.
Like date protein balls.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But what I would find is that I would eat like 2 or 3 times as much.
Right.
Because it wasn't as satisfying. So for me, it wasn't even like good at that point. Like I might as well just like do an actual brownie instead of 3
of the real stuff. Right. Completely. Okay, so let's get into cannabis a little bit.
Let's do it.
Baking and cannabis go so well together. When did your relationship start with cannabis? What was like your first time?
Someone's garage in high school.
Yeah.
Sitting around a circle, like literally passing the blunt.
I wish I had that experience.
But it was so funny. I do remember they lit the blunt and I remember being like, why does this smell like my dad's closet? Like what? So
You found out Dad's dirty little secret.
So I did smoke in high school, and that was too young because
But was
my
it
brain
fun?
was so yes.
Yeah. I'm like,
My
I didn't
brain was
smoke
so
until
gross.
I was early 20s. So
that's
like,
good.
I
No,
missed
that's
the
good for you.
whole, getting
So not condoning it, but I did. So I like really liked weed in high school. I was like really into it, but I for sure like was doing it as like a party thing.
Yeah.
Like I was doing it socially and like not always combining it with drinking, like keeping it separate, but like a lot of times like in that like party environment. And then when I got to college and I got like super depressed and like hated my life, I ended up using weed basically like as an escape and as a way to like kind of tap out. And I was like smoking every day and like just like trying to dissociate basically. And I think that that's like what a lot of people think weed is. Like it's just a tool to dissociate and
to like an excuse to be lazy and out of it and disassociate completely.
And so then I actually stopped smoking for like 4 years or something. And when I started up again, I remember being really intentional about it, being like, I don't want to get like faded. But
Faded. So the word. Are you faded?
But I do want to like feel a little goofy. I want to like feel a little different.
Like a little buzz. A little something. A little giggly. A little lighter.
Think about things a little bit differently. And so I think from then on, like my approach to weed has been like I smoke or do edibles or those are the two.
Yeah.
Whatever. Well, the other night I said I do weed and someone was like, what do you mean you do
weed?
I was like, I do weed.
Well, it's true because usually, I mean, the old days it used to just be like smoke weed.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't say do weed.
But now I don't always.
Now there's so many different ways to do
edibles.
it. There's chocolate. There's yummies.
So yeah, I use it as like a tool kind of to like weirdly like be more in touch. Yeah. Or like see the world like slightly differently. You know what though? Sorry. Well, what do you use weed for?
I use it as a little decompressor. Like I was going to say decompressant, but that kind of, is that a word?
That's right.
It sounds like an antidepressant. It's like it's like a decompressant. I just feel lighter. I feel like my brain is not running as much.
Yes.
And I'm able to take things less seriously. And like, I just don't get as worked up about things, but also I just love to laugh and be goofy.
Couldn't agree more. Few things. One, I learned a few years ago in therapy that I do a lot of rumination, which is when you obsessively just go over something and you try to pick it apart from all angles and you just like get stuck in a thought process. Weed helps me to not do that. Which is amazing.
It's amazing.
I'm able to just like let go of things more. It helps me get in touch with my goofy side, which like kind of feels like it like helps me get in touch with like my kid side.
Completely.
Like where like I don't have all these walls up, like these ego walls. I'm kind of just like able to like be more just myself.
Be you. It's like the guard comes down and you are just kind of like loosey-goosey. It's kind of, to me, like a healthier version of Xanax. Like, and I don't have to feel guilty about taking it as much, you know, and it doesn't make me like groggy and depressed the next day, you know? And same for wine. Like, I can't really drink wine anymore. You're a lot younger than me, but
I'm not that much younger
I
than
don't like how I feel afterwards.
I know.
And I don't like that. I don't like being out of control. I don't like how my body feels. And so for me, this is what I have turned to when I would have wanted maybe a glass of wine, like at the end of the day. Now it's like my little present to myself for getting through the day. You know?
I totally agree. And I think you bring up such a good point. Like traditionally, weed has been in bigger doses, or edibles have been in bigger doses.
Yes.
And the reason we connected initially was because you were like, we went to an event together.
Yes.
And you were like, so I have this company Do you want to tell the story?
Yeah. Okay. So Sarah and I met. We went to this random event in New York and we sat next to each other. And I was telling her about the High Confectionary. I can't remember how it came up, but I think I was just like, do you like gummies or do you do weed or do you smoke weed or do you ingest weed or however I asked it? Yeah. And you were like, actually, yeah. And I was like, oh my God, I have to get you some gummies. And then I introduced you to our team. And we had been wanting to develop chocolate or some sort of iteration of a chocolate product for a while, but knew that we needed not only like a baker, but also passionate about weed to help us do it.
Right.
So I connected you guys, and then that's how it just organically happened. So we haven't even, I think today is the day. The podcast comes out the day that the product is launching. Yeah.
I was going to say, so like, I think what I love so much about the edibles that High Confectionary does is instead of being dosed in these like larger amounts, like 5 or 10 milligrams, it's 1 milligram each.
Exactly.
So you really, especially like as a woman, when your bodies are just smaller than men, and I think weed's like very marketed to men historically, having those smaller amounts allows you to dose so much more intentionally. And it really is like having a glass of wine. It's not getting you faded. It's not getting you like out of your head. In those smaller amounts, it does make you feel more connected.
Completely. I think that like the stoner world has been stigmatized a little bit. Yeah. And I think that like, especially for high functioning women like us or moms, it's like if you take a gummy, people are like, oh, whoa. Like you're stoned or like what, you know? And I think that is, the veil is lifting a little bit on that. And I want to help be a voice for that, as do you. But I think what's so interesting about what you said is also, as someone who is like, can be controlling or have some anxiety, that it actually did the opposite.
Oh, absolutely.
And how many stories have you heard of women who want to have some gummy, but all the gummies are 5 or 10 milligrams, like you were saying, and they just take a little bite of it and they don't know how much they're getting.
Yes.
And I think so many women have just had a terrible experience in the past because they weren't being dosed appropriately. Yes. And High Confectionary does dose us appropriately. And we can dose ourselves based on our own comfort zones. So which brings us to our next product, because obviously we have the 1 milligram gummies, which are amazing. But we wanted to do chocolate forever. And we were like, Sarah, will you please create the recipe for chocolate bars? And she did.
So excited.
Tell us about the process.
So hi guys, we have a line of weed chocolates or THC chocolates.
We have a line of THC chocolate bars.
Yes.
Thank you. Hello.
What's the product? No. Did we have some before? No. After? Yes.
We should have had them before.
Yeah. Okay. I knew going into this that for my brand in general, I am so conscious of like recipe integrity and making sure that if someone's going to spend their time or their money or their energy on baking, I want to make sure that shit turns out. So like I test things so rigorously. It's very much a pillar of my business. So when you guys came to me, I talked a little bit with Cassie and Jenna, the 2 co-founders, and I heard that they were very similar in how they approach doing gummies. Like they're iterating. I remember like we went to a dinner at one point and like they were passing them out to everybody and being like, what do you think of this flavor? But is this good? But like, does this new or this? I was like, oh, my kind of people. Like,
totally. We care.
So when we talked about doing chocolates, I knew that we had to get the chocolate just right. And so I actually ended up buying like 13 different chocolate bars and literally like tasting every single one and being like, too bitter, too smooth, weird mouthfeel. Like a
weird combo.
Yeah, weird combo. Yeah.
And
so it was very like we had to like narrow in on it. And then when we started looking at manufacturers, we did a lot of trial and error with like, I think we found a manufacturer that like could have done it, but I got the chocolate in and I was like, guys, not good. So
I think I remember that first batch. Yeah. We were like,
no. So we landed on 3 flavors. We have a dark chocolate toffee sea salt. I don't know if you ever had this, but like there's a Trader Joe's dark chocolate toffee sea salt that I have always been obsessed with. And I was like, we got to do it. So we did one of those. Then we wanted to do a milk chocolate. And so I was thinking milk chocolate, it's very creamy. It's very rounded flavor wise. I was like peanut butter. So it's a peanut butter crunch. It has little quinoa crunchy pieces in it.
So good.
And peanut butter. It's so good. And then our third is a semi-sweet chocolate. And this is our plain chocolate. You can eat it on its own, but the thing I'm most excited about is you can bake with it. It bakes up so well.
I have tried a brownie and it was insane, you guys. I'm so excited for all the chocolates to come out, but I'm specifically excited for the baking chocolate bar just because I feel like we've been dying to bake with weed forever, but it's so freaking difficult. You have to make the butter and clarify this and strain the wheat.
And then when you strain it, you don't know how much THC is in it.
Exactly.
When I used to make weed brownies, like I remember being like, okay, guys, like only eat a half because like we don't know. Do a little bit and wait.
Right.
Like, it's just, you don't know.
You don't know. But now we know. And we can put exactly how much. Like you made a batch of 12 brownies last week and there's 12 little rectangles in our bar. So we knew that each brownie hopefully had about 1 milligram.
It's perfect.
Completely.
Yeah. And then if you want to add more too, you had this idea. You can chop up another bar and just put it in almost like a little chocolate chunk situation.
Yeah, because I know I need more than 1 milligram.
Girl, same. What's so great about these bars is each square is exactly 1 milligram. So you can dose so easily. It's the same thing as with your gummies, one per like piece.
Rectangle, yeah.
Yeah. So it's so great. Like if you're at the end of the night, you want your little sweet treat. You get your little sweet treat, and then a few hours later, you feel a little nice too.
Yeah, you go for a little seconds. And I've been keeping mine in the fridge.
Oh, that's such a good idea.
Oh, good.
And then it has a really nice when you break it.
So delicious. But gummies are obviously so fun and delicious, and gummies are my thing. But I'm just so excited about the chocolate, and just developing this with you has been such a pleasure, and how much you care really does show beyond just the recipe too. Like us coordinating the photo shoot and then planning the social. Like I'm literally like in our group chats, I'm like, whatever Sarah says. Whatever Sarah says. Like, I just trust you. And you have just like such a good gut about everything, both creatively and just like intuitively. So I'm so excited for this partnership to come out.
I think what made this partnership such a no-brainer is that dessert and cannabis, to me, occupy a similar space where they're about enjoying something and indulgence and kind of like doing something that makes you feel good. And I feel like that comes through with the chocolates being so delicious. And that comes through with the fact that they are dosed in this way where you're not going crazy after eating them. It was such a natural partnership. Like when you guys came to me, I was like, no.
Definitely.
Why didn't you ask me sooner?
No, it felt like harmonious. And now I'm just thinking about all the other things that we can do and all the other things that I want to bake. Like I want to make chocolate covered strawberries. I want to make hot fudge sundaes. I mean, there's so much. Like I want to make chocolate chip cookies. These are all so basic. You're like I
love them all.
My like 5-year-old brain. So what's your ideal setting to enjoy one of the bars?
Oh my God. At my house.
Yeah.
I for sure have to, like, I'm not wearing jeans. I'm wearing pants with a elastic waistband because I just want to be comfy.
Or a robe. Or a robe. No pants at all.
You're like an extra large shirt.
Yeah. Sleeve shirt.
Yeah. I think I think it's just like literally being on the couch, like being with my husband or with my dog. Oh my God. I love being with my dog, but just like being in a comfy, fun environment.
I know. Same. Or even going out with my girlfriends, like eating a little bit before going out with my girlfriends is
going
nice.
to a museum. Yeah, like walking around, talking on the phone to a friend.
Yes. And even with your work, you could probably do it a little bit before you bake and like get high cooking. Well,
I oftentimes will do weed. We're doing it.
We're doing weed.
I'll do weed before I edit my photos because it helps me to like edit in a more creative way.
100%. Before sometimes I go into my email inbox when I know I'm about to like have to crush some emails. I'm like, I am taking a gummy or two before this because Like it's like I will focus more. I will be more excited about it. Ideas will spark.
It won't feel as like anxiety
And it's as daunting.
Yeah.
Completely. What things are you most excited to bake with it?
It's actually chocolate chip cookies. Like
Really?
Yeah,
I know.
Like,
I just need like a classic chocolate chip cookie with the little bits in it. Oh
I mean,
my
I have
God.
to say, like the brownies were insane.
They were
They're
so
fudgy. They're so good.
The recipe itself is so delicious, and then
Yes.
the actual chocolate is
So good. It's so balanced. It has such a good depth. Like I'm obsessed with the actual chocolate itself. But I don't think we said this. Like the semi-sweet bar, when you open up the package on the back, it literally has the recipe for pot brownies. So like you get it when you get the bar.
So you better be making them.
Better be. They're so good, you guys.
They're so good. So I want to get into rapid fire bakers and weed smokers again. Okay, let's go. Okay,
Can you answer them too?
yes, I will.
great.
Okay, brownie edge or center?
Center.
all the way.
All the way.
Like I want all the gooiness.
Those
By the way, I ate your brownie. I took 2 of your brownies home with me from our shoot, and I saved one for Timmy, and I
it on the plate.
savored it. I would take one bite and then wrap it back up and take another one. Okay. Edible before dinner or after dessert?
Before dinner, obviously.
Yeah, duh. I'm like, or both. Lick the spoon or morally superior?
Do I look morally?
Do either of us look more? I'm like licking the bowl.
Okay, I have a very controversial take.
Tell me.
If you get salmonella from licking the spoon, it's because you had bad juju to begin.
Does anybody get salmonella from eggs? Don't you see all those protein guys just
just
raw
eat it.
dogging eggs? Yeah.
I mean, like,
I'm not a doctor.
yeah. Technically, like, we're not idiots. Like, yeah, but like, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay. Sativa, indica, or depends on the playlist.
Okay. When I was younger, it used to be sativa because it really helped me tap into my creativity more without like, dipping.
Yeah.
Now it's indica because
Interesting.
as I've gotten older, I've become more in touch with my body, and I realized I store a lot of anxiety in my body, not just in my head. So the indica really helps me to like
relax your. So what's weird is that I went to a party like a year ago, and someone was telling me that all the smart people smoke sativa. No one smokes indica or hybrids. Exactly. They're like, sativa's the one that like it doesn't make you sound stupid or something. It was so stupid what they said. Even the fact that I took it, I can be so impressionable. Yeah. For the past year, I've only been smoking sativa.
Have you liked it?
I don't know. I'm like, now I feel like I need to dip back and experiment a little bit because I do think that the sativa is a nice daytime thing. Like we were talking about like a work thing, like, sorry, not a work thing. Sometimes if it's a fashion show or an event, like I may be stoned. Okay. But like getting into my emails, stuff like creativity, I feel like sativa, but indica, I should play around with that like at nighttime when I want to calm my body down more. Okay. Butter straight from the fridge or room temp?
Room temp.
Okay.
Because you can just like taste it better.
So do you keep your butter outside of the fridge all the time?
No, I don't. No. I keep it in the fridge, and then like if I'm going to bake with it, I'll take it out of the fridge the day before.
Yeah.
Or like the morning.
Okay.
Or if I forget, I will put it in my pants and have my body heat
warm it up.
Yeah.
You have all the tricks.
Yeah. I literally, I have to say, I had a follower one time send me a photo. She was like, Sarah, I also put my butter in my pants, but I forgot about it. And it fucking exploded all over.
One flavor combo you'll never get sick of.
Chocolate peanut butter.
So good.
Okay, what about you?
Yeah, never.
I also want to say Oreo and coffee.
Ooh.
It's a little niche. I like it.
Oreo, I've never had an Oreo and coffee.
Oh, it's so good. Coffee ice cream, crumble up some Oreos on it. It's amazing.
Amazing. I mean, my combo is not going to be baking related, but it's olives and Parmesan cheese.
I've never tried.
No, stop.
Wait,
like off a charcuterie
sense.
board, like having a bite of olive and Parmesan cheese together.
No. Oh, I like. What kind of olive?
Is that a flavor combo?
Yeah.
Like a Calistravano.
Castelvetrano.
I got you. And I will also just snack on blue cheese olives.
Yes, I
That's
agree with
besides
that.
the fact that I'll just snack on them. Okay. Salty sweet or rich?
It really depends on my mood. I gravitate more towards fudge than whipped cream. You know what I mean? Like I want a rich dessert, but like salt needs to be in dessert.
It needs to.
So
do you usually like sprinkle a
little sea
little
salt on top?
all the
Oh
time?
yeah.
Yeah. Your ultimate cozy night ritual.
I go to Whole Foods and I get groceries for dinner. And then I go home, I pop a gummy or 2 or 3, and then I start cooking. And then maybe I watch a show, and then I eat, and then I maybe watch a movie.
It's like a lot of eating and getting high and chilling.
Yeah. Then take a bath.
Oh,
Gotta end the night on a bath.
I like love the idea of baths, but then actually doing it. Like I was at our hotel had a beautiful bathtub, and I was like, I'm gonna take a bath. Yesterday, I was planning on. And then I got there, and I was like, this is too much work. I can't do it.
What's your cozy night?
My cozy night is probably the same. It's like just chill at home with Sunny and Timmy, making dinner together, and then usually just like doing a movie night together. Yeah. With some like gummy or chocolate sprinkled in there.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. One thing people would be surprised to know about you as a baker.
I don't know how much of a surprise this is, but like I'm a very messy baker. I'm very, very messy. I make an absolute
Does your
tornado of
husband
mess in the kitchen. No, but sometimes my team members do. Because I like film with my team members or like one of them will like maybe prep something so we can swap it out. So like I have a team when I film and thank you, Sophie and Zoe.
But do you think that's because you're moving so fast and you're focusing on filming? Like, probably when you're at home cooking and baking, you're not as messy because you're the one that's going to have to do all of the wrap up and clean up.
So messy.
You're still messy. Okay.
My husband does.
It kills me because I'm the one usually cleaning up. Oh. But it's fine. Like he cooks. Yeah. Like he's the one that's cooking. Yeah. But I'm like, I shouldn't say that. He helps clean up too.
It's because I want to get it done. You're right. Like I want to go fast. But even when I'm on my own, I want to go fast.
Yeah. You're just efficient. Yeah. And you're not thinking about the mess. Last question. What does enough feel like in your body now?
Rapid fire. My God.
I'm so sorry to think about it. Rapid.
Okay. What does enough feel like? The big thing that I've been working on this past year in therapy actually is feeling enough and feeling like I am okay where I'm currently at. Mm-hmm. I think to me, like being enough is about being grounded and being present and being and sort of taking stock in the present moment, and not feeling like you have to keep projecting forwards and thinking about what you can do, how you can be better, like what other people are doing and how you need to be doing all of those things. Like enough is really about like staying present with yourself.
And being enough by your own standards, not by anybody else's.
Totally.
And making sure that your standards are fair too.
Yeah.
Your personal standards are fair.
And I think like one thing that I've been doing a lot of to get better at feeling that way is doing things that do keep me in the present. So like I've been getting really into drawing because it just like helps me to like get out of like thinking.
You can't think about anything else.
Yeah.
Same with like coloring or doing those kinds of things. It forces you to be mindful and present. Yeah.
And it's like really helping me.
Yeah.
Can I ask you too? What's enough for
me? I think it's probably along those same lines, but I don't think I fully know yet.
I know.
It's so tough, but I do think that enough, I think especially for, as a mom now, I think that my child just being happy and safe, like feels like I feel then like I am enough. Like that feels like my biggest priority. And as long as he's okay, I feel like I'm okay. Like I can deal with all my shit.
Yeah.
But it's just so much more important that he's okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if
that's so mom of you, and that makes you such a good mom. But also, I hope you get to a point one day where you are able to give yourself that too.
I will. I have a lot of work to do. We all do. It's a journey. And it's waves too. There's moments, there's seasons in my life where I feel like I have it all figured out and I'm so great and I got
winter
this.
Comes along.
And then, Yeah. Winter is coming. All right. I think that's it. You guys, chocolate bars are out today. Go grab them. Highconfectionary.com. Tell us what you think. Bake your brownies. I'm looking at all the cameras. And thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
So excited
that was
to
so
continue.
lovely.
Was.
Love you.
Yay, love you. Now I get to go meet my surrogate.
Exciting.